The National Enquirer's parent company is fighting back after accusations by Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world, says American Media Inc. is threatening to release his private photos unless he stops criticizing the publication. In a statement, the company says it, quote, acted lawfully in the reporting of the story of Mr. Bezos. The statement also says the company's board has determined that it should promptly and thoroughly investigate the claims. Last month, the Enquirer revealed Bezos' longtime affair with former TV anchor Lauren Sanchez. He then set out to learn how the publication obtained his text messages with Sanchez. Jerika Duncan is following the dispute that also has a political dimension.
Jeff Bezos is on the offensive after hiring a team of investigators to find the National Enquirer's and its parent company AMI's motives for unveiling his affair. Bezos now says they tried to intimidate and silence him. In a combative blog post, Bezos revealed what he says are emails from AMI's attorneys telling him to cease and desist from his personal investigation. In one email, AMI Chief Content Officer Dylan Howard allegedly threatened to release photos, including a below-the-belt selfie, if he didn't comply. In another, AMI Deputy General Counsel John Fine allegedly asked Bezos and his lawyers to announce that they have no knowledge or basis for suggesting that America Media's coverage was politically motivated. In exchange, it said, AMI agrees not to publish, distribute, share, or describe unpublished texts or photos. Bezos, who also owns the Washington Post, believes the decision to unveil those messages was politically motivated.
He wants political influence so that Amazon will benefit from it.
And could relate to his very public spat with President Trump, who just last month referred to him as Jeff Bozo. The president has a long-standing but recently turbulent relationship with AMI and its CEO, David Pecker. Last year, the company admitted to federal prosecutors that it made hush money payments during the 2016 campaign to a former Playboy model making allegations of an affair with Mr. Trump. That agreement prevents prosecution for the payment unless they commit more crimes. Lachlan Marquet is an investigative reporter for the Daily Beast who first reported Bezos' investigation.
We don't know if they've committed crimes in this case, but that's certainly what Jeff Bezos seemed to be suggesting. And it's something that I anticipate prosecutors will certainly ask David Pecker about, and it could really blow back on AMI in a big way.
So attorney Paul Batista is here with more on this. Paul, we're going to sort of talk about the legal aspect of it, because there are various legal aspects. So basically, Jeff Bezos is saying that the Enquirer's coverage of him is politically motivated. We know that David Pecker is really good friends with Donald Trump, or at least was very good friends at one point. And so he's suggesting that because Donald Trump has it out for Bezos, that Pecker was working on behalf, perhaps, of the administration. The Enquirer says, look, you're a very prominent businessman. Your opinion counts for something in the public sphere, and we would like you to publicly say that we're not politically motivated because you were a man of influence. Can we talk about the two different perspectives? Do they each have a legal leg to stand on?
It seems to me that neither of them really does, given the definition of extortion, which is that legally, technically, extortion involves demanding something of value in exchange for something that wants to be hidden.
Right.
And
so this is like a weird definition of value. The value is you have influence over the public. Jeff Bezos, so stop saying bad things about us.
Well, that's right. It assumes also that Jeff Bezos, who replaced the Graham family as the owner of the Washington Post, is somehow influencing the Washington Post's aggressive coverage of the president,
right,
and is allegedly has been asked to have the Washington Post reduce that level of coverage.
Right.
That is such an unusual claim of extortion that while it might be politically persuasive, and it's very creative. I have to give his advisors a great deal of credit, but it's
not very clear, right? It's far-fetched. Yeah. Okay, so we know that American media has entered into an agreement with the Southern District of New York because American media has been accused of being involved in these catch and kill stories, paying off a woman who said that she had an affair with President Trump, paying her for her story and then not publishing it, right? So they've entered into a deal with the Southern District of New York so that they will not be indicted. Presumably that deal has something to do with not attempting to blackmail somebody in the future. Could this be putting their deal in jeopardy? Because
No.
it certainly seems like an attempt at blackmail.
I really doubt it, Anne-Marie. I think that incident where money was allegedly funneled through American media, the National Enquirer,
Right.
To suppress a story was probably limited to that particular event. And when you have a plea agreement, you don't really affect the future. That's not ordinarily part of a plea agreement. So I doubt it. And indeed, if it were, I would expect Jeff Bezos's advisors or Mr. Bezos himself to argue that they have no connection whatsoever.
Okay. AMI's general counsel says that publishing Jeff Bezos' text messages, which they did, is within their rights under the copyright law. Is that true? We don't know how they got their hands on those text messages. And is that true? And if it is that the same for these private pictures that the company says that they have that they could release?
Well,
these very intimate pictures.
I think there's a distinction. I think there's a distinction there. Publishing text messages, no matter how they've been obtained, and they've obviously been obtained surreptitiously, is one issue. Publishing photographs, forget the issue of why this couple would take photographs of themselves.
Why does anybody do this anymore?
That is more of an invasion of privacy, and that does create problems, very unique problems, for any claim of extortion. Extortion is a criminal offense. It's treated very seriously, rarely prosecuted, but it is a serious offense.
It's rarely prosecuted?
Rarely.
Why? Is it difficult to prove?
It's difficult to prove. It is a difficult case, and what's particularly difficult here is that most extortion cases are, give me something, give me my child, give me information in exchange for $150,000 or whatever the number may be. And it is difficult to prove. Indeed, I've been involved in a few of them, and I don't remember a conviction from any of those cases, not because I'm the world's greatest lawyer.
You can say that.
The jury takes a pass on it.
Okay, well, you're CBSN's greatest lawyer. Well, as well as some other lawyers. I can't say that. We've got Ricky Kleeman. We've got a bunch of great lawyers here. Paul, you're one of the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Anne-Marie.